Roadblocks and police presence will continue until chaos on the road is dealt with. Home Affairs Minister Kazembe has said, speaking on the sidelines of the Zimbabwe Republic Police Senior Officers Conference in Harare. Minister Kazembe said there have been cries from the public about roadblocks, but they are being guided by the law to ensure there is sanity on the roads.
That the police have upped the game. As you can see, we now have police presence all over. Yes, people can complain. You see, the problem with our people is they don't know, they complain. If we try and enforce the law, we try and increase police presence, patrols, they complain. And if we take the police away from off the roads, they still complain and say there's lawlessness. So I've told the police that we've discussed this and said, look, you know what, let's be guided by the law. Let's enforce the law as is, whether people have complained or they've not complained. And I think I want to commend the Commissioner General that they've started very well. We've seen some changes, some improvements on the roads, and we're going to continue on that trajectory.
So Minister Kazembe also adding that the ultimate solution to the chaos that we've been witnessing on our roads will be the electronic traffic management system, which will be deployed later this year.
The best way to deal with these issues is to go electronic. And I want to tell our citizens that this year our target is to ensure that we deploy electronic traffic management system. That will put an end to all these things, because the cameras do not recognize anyone's face or any relationship, or whether a politician or whatever. The technology does not favor anyone. So we'll have technology deployed to ensure that all those violators of traffic laws are accounted for by technology. And this is our focus, this is our objective for this year. Without fail, we'll ensure that this year we will deploy electronic traffic management system, and that will put an end to all these madness on the road. But meanwhile, they will increase police presence on the roads, traffic controls, roadblocks and all the rest of it, whilst we are working on deploying this ultimate solution with this technology. And we're going to do it this year without fail.
Turning to accidents which have bedeviled the nation, Minister Kazembe said the public should assist the police to ensure violators are brought to book. This comes at a time bus drivers are under fire for disregarding passengers, resulting in accidents.
We want to urge our drivers to be responsible on the roads, but also I want to encourage our citizens to also assist the police. You know, the police is public and the public is police. So I'm kindly urging our citizens, whenever you see a driver misbehaving, don't cheer them on. Deal with them. Now we've got cameras, we've got phone, our phones, there's technology. Please assist us and we will definitely account for those people. If you see a driver driving recklessly, just either call the police, send it on social media. We are alert. Now we are always online. Myself, I'm always online as well. I'm always checking what's happening. And if we see any misbehavior, any indiscipline on the roads, we'll act promptly. So we are kindly asking citizens to assist the police with information. And also I would like to kindly ask our drivers to respect people's lives and be responsible on the roads.
I must say, police presence really has had people on their toes about having documentation in order, things that are needed in the vehicles, and kind of just general maintenance. Or for me, that is, everything is in order. I feel like, you know what, I'm a law-abiding citizen.
I also feel that, although if I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'll don't want to get in trouble with the police.
You're playing what?
Go on.
Devil's advocate.
Go on.
But anyway, I think in regards to police presence, I think collectively as Zimbabweans, we have a bit of trauma, I think, from maybe about a decade ago when a police presence on the roads, especially in terms of the roadblocks, you felt like you were being harassed. There were issues around corruption at those roadblocks. And I know now, I think ever since we got into the Second Republic, there's been a shift towards more friendly and people-first policing. But I think this is obviously coming out of the pressure that's happening with the carnage that we've witnessed on our roads. And I'm a big fan of the electronic management system. I don't know if our roads and maybe the systems that we have in the country are able to completely embed that, because I think you look at the trends globally, most countries, South Africa, Australia, the UK, they've been doing this. And what I like about the electronic traffic management system is that, like what Marissa is saying, it then keeps you on your toes. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't see a roadblock, even if you don't hear a siren, you just know if you're at a traffic light or if you're on the highway or at a toll gate or whatever, then you're going to have that presence or that monitoring. But when you then look at the fact that the majority of the bad accidents are happening on our highways, I'm not sure how that electronic transfer management system is going to work, because there's a lot of gaps on the highway. I mean, you can probably only implement it at a toll gate or at an intersection, but along the highway where we are having the majority of our accidents, I'll be interested to see how it's going to be deployed. I know they said without fail. Now we want to see how it's going to happen.
So I also got a lot here, just to add on to that. But let me address you properly. Anzi Navaka Zembe, the police is the public. The public is the police. Officer Marisa and Officer...
Thank you, Officer Howard.
So, you spoke the truth. When you say, we've got a lot of trauma when we see the police, especially on the road, because of the precedents that was set. Because, trust me, we all want to be law-abiding citizens. But I think what needs to be done is to educate people more on why the police are on the road. What are they trying to achieve? Because you wake up one day, there's a roadblock there, there's a roadblock there, and you're asking yourself, okay, because when I see a roadblock, because of what has happened before, I'll quickly strap myself, right? And I'm checking, do I have the reflective vest? I'm thinking, okay, I don't have triangles at the back, or maybe if they see my reflector vest, they will think I've got everything in order. We are doing these things not because we want, to abide by the traffic rules. No, because we want to appease the police. So there should be a lot of education on why we are doing this. Yes, the electronic transfer management system is going to be put in place later this year and all that. Yes, good, let's do that. And again, does it also fit into what our roads are currently? Because like you rightfully said, accidents are not happening here, hey? They are happening this past weekend alone. What happened along our highways? So yes, let's have the police, but let's understand why the police are on the road. To maintain, peace, order, and make sure we are following rules on the road. But at the end of the day, we don't need to do it just because we are scared of the police. Because that's the mentality that we've got. Whenever we get on the road, we see the police, okay, do I have everything in order? What didn't I do? Is my belt on? And soon after you pass the roadblock, you take it off. But we need to understand why we are strapping ourselves when we get into our vehicles.
Yeah, safety is always important. And you know what? I like what you're saying, to be educated as the motorists, but to also the police to also be educated that we also have a right to ask, but why are you giving me this fine? And how much is this fine? But on this sheet, it says it's $5. Why are you charging me $10? I think it's also good for the police to also understand that we are human beings. All of us are, we have a right as human beings to ask. If you don't understand something, seek understanding. So at the end of the day, I do know that there's a lot of the SI rules and stuff, or, fines and things like that. So as an individual who has a vehicle, I'm learning these things. So I do have a right to then ask you, okay, if my third number plate is this way, such and such and such. I never knew that was like a tampering, whatever. Remember when I was in that situation? But looking at those rules, it was actually there. But, I didn't know about it. So it's good to educate yourself, and also the police to be educated that it's okay to be asked a question by an individual. We're not trying to be rude. We're just trying to understand.
We are the same. That's what Minister Kazembe said.
Police are the people. People are the police.
Konapo, ipapo.